Hello, I'm Kat and this is 10 minutes long. One of my goals for this year, I'm just going to jump right in. One of my goals for this year was to cook a lot more new recipes, and I wanted to try like 2 recipes every month. And even though I'm moving and everything at the moment, this is why like I'm a mess. This is a mess, like everything is a mess because I'm sort of mid-move. I'm still committed to trying out new recipes, which is what I'm doing here today. So I found this one for enchilada orzo. I've never tried orzo before, but presumably it's just a different shape of pasta. But I love Mexican food, and I thought I'd give it a try because I thought Mexican in the slow cooker, awesome. And I'm going to be packing all day, which is why I'm still in my pajamas. Like, it's literally first thing in the morning, and I'm just putting this on for the day so that I can then just get on with everything else. And when I looked at the recipe, I realised it was so fast. Like, I've never seen a recipe that's just like, yes, dump everything in the slow cooker and then it's done. I mean, like, obviously a lot of my recipes are like that, but they require, like, you know, vegetable chopping and stuff, but this one doesn't. So I thought I'll just make it and see how it goes. I'll put a link in the description if you want to try it yourself. And yeah, that I'm just going to get on with it. It is an American recipe and I'm obviously UK based. So there were some things that I'm just going to have to substitute because I was like, just don't know where to get them. So for instance, it says 1 tin of fire roasted tomatoes. Asda and Tesco tell me no such thing exists. So yeah, that was fun. Here's some black beans, which are going to go in. Here's a tin of sweet corn, which is going to go in. It calls for enchilada sauce, and we do have Old El Paso enchilada sauce in this country, but when I ordered it, they didn't bring it. They bought fajita sauce instead, sorry. So I'm just going to sub it with that. I mean, fajita, enchilada, same, maybe. But we'll see how that goes. What I am looking for though is the tinned tomatoes. There we go. I thought for a minute then that I was done-zoned. There we go. Tinned tomatoes. So yeah, I'm just going to dump this together and you can see how it goes. Apologies for noise in the background, it's very windy again. It seems to be windy all the time on every single video ever. Yes, it's very windy. There we go. Now it's working. So yeah, it says fire roasted tomatoes, no such thing apparently, so I'm just using normal diced tomatoes. I really hate tomatoes, I think they are disgusting, but if they're in something and they take on the flavour of it, it's probably fine. It says to add salt and pepper to taste, so I'm just going to add a sprinkle of pepper. Here's my pepper grinder. My salt grinder is Spider-Man, clearly. I'm going to use salt from here. It's easier than topping up Spider-Man. Probably going to go for a teaspoon. I like things kind of salty. It says it makes 6 portions, so a teaspoon would be pretty good. But I actually don't know how many portions that's going to make of my sort of portions. Because sometimes they're like, oh yes, this makes 6 portions, and it's like, you can have a spoonful of it, and it's like, no, none of that. I actually like to eat food, you know, have a portion, a good sized portion. So that's salt and pepper. All of this sauce goes in. This is hard, but I am strong. It's looking very saucy right now. It just looks like sauce, I've got to be honest. Ooh, that smells good. It smells really like smoky. Yes, I approve. So that's the enchilada sauce. We're going to put the beans in. Just kind of pull thingy. I need to empty that in the sink. So black beans going in. I'd say I've used black beans before. I usually just use red kidney beans for stuff like that because they're a little bit cheaper. Not that matters too much. Some sweet corn. So drained all the water out of that, and that's just being dumped in there, like so. What else does it say? Salt and pepper we did. It says we want to put in some broth. So it says half a cup of vegetable broth. Now half a cup here is 125 mils, which seems like a pretty wasteful way to use broth, because I use stock pots and one pot makes like 500 mils, I think. Where are your instructions? Tell me your secrets, folks. Yeah, 500 mils. So what I'm going to do then is make up one of these stock pots, and I will keep it to one side, because if it later needs more stock, then I can just put it in from cold. If it doesn't need more stock, then I'll have to throw it away. Alright, so there's 500 mils of stock. Now it does say broth, but I'm thinking like stock and broth are pretty much the same thing, right? So in this recipe, for me, it's the same thing. This is why sometimes I make a new recipe and it's like, oh yes, this is really nice. And other times I make a recipe and it's like, I have substituted everything for something else, and then it's like, why doesn't this taste good? But hey, it's, you know, it's adaptations are sometimes needed when you're looking at recipes from other countries, and sometimes it works out, so it's worth doing. So I'm just going to measure half a cup, just because I want to be slightly precise with it. There we go, that's half a cup. So we've got this stock left for later on. I mean, it being in the slow cooker, it's quite often a good idea to have some spare liquid about. Going to give it a bit of a stir. You can see it's very rich in beans and corn, which is nice. I think once I've put the orzo in, I'm thinking probably not 6 servings, I don't think, maybe 3, we'll see. So anyway, I stirred that all about. It does smell good, but it does smell like fajitas, obviously not enchilada, so maybe this will be a slow cooker fajita orzo bake or something, I don't know. So anyway, tomatoes, salt, pepper, sauce, broth, beans, corn, so that's all in there. The very last thing to put in there is some cream cheese, and it says to just put it across the top. So I'm going to do that and then just put it on, and then literally we just allow it to simmer all day, and then chuck the orzo in about 45 minutes before we want to eat, which is pretty common for pasta in the slow cooker. So yeah, cheese. So I've got 50% less fat soft cheese, and it says 4 ounces. I don't know how much 4 ounces is. I don't really want to dirty another pot if I can help it. I think I'm going to have to. So 4 ounces turned out to be about 100 grams. It's first thing in the morning, it's way too early to lick that off my finger, and also I'm not a massive fan of soft cheese, especially not on its own. That's going to be alright in there for a minute. So I'm just going to put this on the top, but it says to just put it on the top and then stir it in later. So can't see any reason not to do that really. So here we're adding pasta in. It says 2 cups of pasta. Turned out to be about just over 400 and something grams, about 415 grams. I left it with the pasta for a little bit, about 45 minutes, and then came back to dish it out. It definitely needed a lot more water, so I did put the rest of the stock in between. And here you can see that I made it up into 3 portions, which turned out to be, you know, quite a good size. It was about 400 and 20-ish calories, something like that. I don't remember the exact amount, but I'll link all of this down in the description so that you can see the actual numbers. But yeah, there it is. It was quite tasty. Made a nice bowl for